travels.
All right, introduce yourself.
I'm Nelson Jarvis. Good morning. Last night I went to a large Chevy Cadillac dealer in Sussex County.
Okay.
Let me give you the demographics of the place. Main Street, an old town, right on the square. The company's been in business since about 1916. They changed ownership about 3 years ago. Up until then, one family owned the business. Outside, on the other side, okay, let me back up. Right at the front door is the desk. Between the desk and the side of the building is a big plate glass window. As I approached the place, I saw two men behind the desk and one man on the floor side of the desk. There was a Volt, Chevy's new electric car,
Right.
outside that plate glass window where they could see it from the inside and where I could see it as I was approaching the place. And that's the car I went up. Before I went inside, I went up and took a look at that car. I started looking it over and looking around and looking around. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see they were looking,
Right.
but nobody came out.
Right.
I just kept looking. I went inside and walked in the door, and the desk was over here. Nobody came over to me. I waited about 5-6 seconds, just standing there.
So you're purposely waiting around to see if you can get a greeting.
I wanted to see what they would do.
And how much time do you think elapsed? Because they saw you, obviously.
They knew I was outside looking over that Volt.
Right. And you came inside, even.
Yeah, and I came inside, and it probably took about 5 seconds or so before anybody acknowledged me being there.
Okay.
Okay, the guy who was on the floor side of the desk, who was probably the rep rather than a manager, turned over and didn't tell me hello, didn't tell me welcome, didn't say I'm so-and-so. What can I do for you?
And he was standing up or sitting down?
I'm sorry?
Was he standing up or sitting down?
He was standing.
Okay. He said,
was
what can I
standing.
do for you?
I'm sorry?
He said, what can I do for you?
Yeah, there was no, hi, welcome to so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, are you here to see so-and-so? Nothing.
Okay.
No greeting, no introduction. And he said, what can I do for you? I said, well, I was just looking at that Volt outside and I'm interested in it. So he grabbed the key, went outside, opened the thing up, told me a couple things about the car. I listened, asked him a few questions, and he told me that the price on the Volt was non-negotiable. It was sticker. I didn't ask him.
Well, let's stop right there. I mean, here, he skipped a really important step.
He skipped the whole thing.
Yeah, he skipped the interview because, potentially here, we learned yesterday that by doing an interview, maybe you came in and the Volt caught your eye, but maybe at the end of the day, the Volt's not the right car for you. So if you're asking other things like, are you considering other vehicles, truck, van, wagon, car, bigger, smaller than what you're currently driving, all those other questions, potentially, you might have drove home in a different car that day.
Never came into play.
Exactly. So he went right into price, and now that's giving you the control. Yeah.
None of those things ever came into play.
Okay, so what happened after that?
I asked him a few more questions. He told me again that the price was non-negotiable. And I could see where we weren't leaning towards the desk. We weren't leaning towards a test drive. We weren't leaning towards anything. So I said, thank you for your time, and started walking away. And as I was walking away, he said, here, take my card in case you want to have another, in case you want to talk about it again.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And we learned yesterday the 5 basic ingredients of a sale. You sell yourself first in that order, and then you sell the dealership.
I didn't even get a smile off of this
Yeah.
guy.
Then the product, and then it's price. Well, because they didn't do all of that, it wasn't emotional. It was all logic. So you logically left because it was all about price. And
He blew it. He blew any potential there was of a deal.
Yeah. So you weren't too impressed by the guy?
Not at all.
What would you have done different?
Everything.
Right, the obvious, right?
From top to bottom.
Right.
I mean, the guy blew what could have been a deal.
Exactly.
He didn't know who I was. He didn't know why I was there. But he saw, he should have seen a potential deal, and he didn't do anything to make that deal work.
Amen. Now, Nelson, do you understand now why I had you do that homework assignment?
Of course.
Makes perfect sense, does it not?
Of course.
Round of applause.